So I want to talk about summer sports card trends to pay attention to, and this can kind of go in any number of directions. I think what I was thinking about with this particular topic is just kind of a culmination of a bunch of different things. I think that there's a place in the market. I'm seeing some trends that lead me to believe that some of these cards that Kendall and I have referred to as vintage, I know a lot of people see vintage as like not pre 1979 and things like that. Like to me, vintage is more like anyone who's retired, right? Like anyone who's retired.
I would say anything before 2020 is
vintage. Anything before 2020 is
anything
vintage.
before the new boom kicked off is vintage.
So the 1986 Fleer basketball set, there's sets that are mass produced after that people will roll their eyes at, but like I think that there are cards that people were buying. Like even if you look at the Topps 1989 football, right? Like in February of 2021 when things got kind of crazy, people were buying Troy Aikman's rookie out of that set, Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders rookie out of that set for far more than what they go for now. If you look at there's a bunch of other examples from other sports that kind of fit that mold, and I'm sort of wondering if there's not going to be a trend again this summer where if the economy is actually affecting the sports card market in certain ways, that those cards don't become desirable again, for the sheer fact that they're not as while they are, some of them are mass produced. If you get them in a particular grade to make them stand out a little bit more and become more scarce, or something about them, maybe it's an insert, right? Like it's an insert from a set that we haven't mentioned yet on today's show. So my mind's thinking about things like that. The other thing I'm thinking about is what's going to be the difference between like this year's national and last year's national, or this year's just summer card shows, activity at card shops this summer, things that are sort of like offline transactions. Because I think, and this is coming at it from a different angle from what I was just mentioning a second ago with the vintage cards. I think that like a lot of times people see card sales online, and if they're lower than they were a few months ago, it's like, oh no, the market is crashing. But I mean, the reality is that in the summer, a lot of these transactions are happening face to face at card shows and in card shops, as well. Like they're not, there's the National, there's the Dallas Card Show, there's the Midwest Monster just happened, right? So you guys both are the perfect guys to answer this. I'm gonna let Kendall go first and let Chase just get real excited about his potential answer while Kendall talks. Don't even listen to Kendall. Just think about your answer, Chase, and then let me know what you think. And you can poke holes in my theory about the vintage stuff, or you can just, add some color around like what happens in the summer and what do you anticipate happening this summer related to offline sports cards transactions.
Well, in regards to the National, I think I talked about it last week, I think, but I don't think it's going to be as big as it was previously. Specifically because it's in Atlantic City. I think if this year's was in Chicago again, I think it would be around the same size. But I would just go out and say that I don't think there's going to be the amount of money transacted if there was some sort of, like, I play FIFA career mode, and when it comes to the different transfer windows, there's like a ticker on the side of like how much money is spent in that window from all clubs. Like that's kind of like just a made up thing that FIFA does because for the game. But like if there was a tracker, like how much money has been moved at this national, I would say that the Atlantic City one is going to move less money than Chicago's for a lot of different reasons. And there's a lot of different things going on in our country right now that are going to play into that. But another one is the thing that I am intrigued about, and this was something that came up I don't remember where I was, but I was doing something in regards to talking about sports cards and about the national, and somebody was telling me, I was actually on loop at talking to the Kentucky Roadshow, the Jacksonville Roadshow guys.
Okay.
And I was just chatting with them. I just drop into anything Roadshow because I know enough of you guys at this point that it's just
Boring.
like, yeah, it's just boring. No, so I dropped into Jacksonville Roadshow. And I was talking to him, and he was saying that like right across, like Jackson or Atlantic City is like the Las Vegas of the East or whatever you've heard it termed that, and it's also like it's big in Sopranos. So it's like so there's like this Las Vegas gambling culture, and I think if there is money that is spent or like, I think it would be interesting to see people selling massive cards at the National and then going across the street to the casino and potentially exponentially coming back over and being like, just kidding. Now I have 800K instead of 100K to potentially spend. That would be the only way that I think we blow out last year's, just because of the environment we're in. But Paul, I don't remember the rest of your question, to be fair. So I don't know where I was going with that, but did that answer everything you wanted?
I think so. I mean, I just wanted your take on like what would happen this summer at the card shows. Is there anything that happens at shows and shops that might be useful for the audience to hear from you guys? Because we typically talk about player prospecting from all the different sports. We talk about eBay sales. And we typically, we've talked about the National on the show. And then, of course, having Chase on talking about the Roadshow card shops and everything. But, while we have him, just kind of curious to think about what plays might be out there.
Yeah, that's all
summer, particularly.
That's all Crim, really. There's not really great shows where I'm at. They're all like basketball shows and Tyler Hero only, so
Kentucky guys.
Yeah.
Kendall's in Kentucky. Kendall's mad at Jimmy. Jimmy, we got to get you on here.
Jimmy doesn't even come to shows.
Square off about basketball.
It's Trey that goes to the shows.
Jimmy is too busy flying to Columbia and Texas and New York and Cali and.
But honestly, like, even when I see Trey at shows, he's not buying anything. He's just walking around looking at stuff. Yeah. And so it's just like, I just don't think our shows are that conducive for moving things. It's just like, it's almost like an antique show. Honestly, like, it's just like, these are my cards. Come look at them, and the Dallas show seems to be like, these are cards I'm trying to move.
Yes.
And I just think it's different. So I don't really go to shows, really. I do all my sales on eBay or Twitter or Loop. So,
all right. To dive into the National, and then I'll talk about specific like inserts or sets or like types of cards I think are play this summer. I think what we're going to see at the National is I think we're going to see a lot of safe plays. Because everyone's more particular on how they spend their money now, right? Now I will say that, but I also think like the high end stuff, I think that's going to continue to go up. Like if you're buying $100,000 cards last year, the economy probably doesn't have that much of an effect on you. If anything, you're probably just buying more because people are probably selling more. So I think high end stuff will continue to go up. I think the lower end stuff will be interesting to see how that plays out if it drops down to, because that's who's going to be spending less money at the show, at the National, right? Is people who already weren't spending a lot in cards, and now you have inflation the way it is, and then we have the National in Atlantic City where you have to get a connecting flight instead of just driving to the middle of the country in Chicago. A number of factors. I'm kind of bummed that my first National is going to be in Atlantic City. I'm not going to lie. Because I hear all this good stuff about Chicago, and we'll see. Hopefully it's fine. It's going to be awesome.
I'm going to be at your first National. So
yes, we're going to be there together. hopefully all three of us will get a selfie and it'll be awesome.
just DM Aram and ask him if Kendall's going.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. Be like, hey, Kendall, I'll see Kendall, right? Like every day. But as far as like specific plays are concerned, so I don't have anything vintage. The oldest card I have is
there's a bunch of
86.
cool vintage booths, man.
Yeah. The oldest card I have is an 86 Jordan and a PSA 10. Not PSA 10.
I was like, whoa!
Yeah, that would be different. PSA 8. Just because vintage has always just kind of been boring to me, if I'm being honest. Like I want to be able to watch who I'm investing in. Like that's just how I am.
Yeah.
But vintage cards have like always survived, and no matter what crisis this country's gone through, right? Like it's world wars, Vietnam War, Cold War, how many crashes, COVID.
I was like, there's more than wars that go on, bro.
Right. Yeah. Like, and
2007 was pretty bad. 2007, 2008 was pretty bad too. And
they're still like, I don't think they're recession proof, but I think Jimmy said it best this week at our shop. Nothing's recession proof, but vintage cards are recession resistant. Like they've been around for 100 years. Like if anything's going to survive it, it's going to be those cards.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be looking at vintage. I don't have a specific play in mind, but my mind is open to it, and my mind's open to researching it more.
Have you ever seen the Cuban cigar cards?
No.
Okay, so this is like an avenue of card collecting that is nuts. So there are some super vintage old cards that came in cigar boxes. Okay. And they're with that, even say they're like brown, they're like tinted brown. And so I had never seen one. We're walking by a booth that literally looks like it's from the History Channel. You know, like it's got like it looks like super official, and you're just like, what? This looks like a museum piece. And you look down, and there's like these brown cards like this big.
Yeah.
You know, they're like this big. And I was like, what is this? And then Aram was with me, and he was looking down, and he's like, no way, dude. I've never seen anyone other than me have cigar cards. And he just like inherited a bunch of them because he lives in Miami. And so like the Cuban cigar cards were like big down there, and he inherited some from his relatives. But that alone, seeing that at the National, you're never going to see that in Kentucky.
Yeah.
You're never going to go down to the freaking Hyatt, wherever the show is, walk in and, see Trey holding a cigar card. You're just not. Yeah. And even if you did, they wouldn't even know what it is. Anyway, sorry.
Good stuff, fellas. All right. Any inserts you want to throw out there, Chase? If not, no big deal. You
mention not inserts. So I have a couple things. I think veteran baseball prospect autos that we mentioned earlier, I think that could be a very interesting play. Like, why is Khalil Watson more expensive than Manny Machado, who's probably going to be a Hall of Famer?
Yep.
Like, is Khalil Watson 18 or 19? I don't remember.
I think he's 19, but he smokes a lot of reefa.
When Manny Machado was 19,
Miami Marlins
Machado was 19, he was dropping bombs in the majors, right? Yeah. So, like, why would I?
Early Manny was something else, bro. Yes. Oh, man.
So that's one thing I think is an easy play.
Cool. I love it. All right, so Kendall, real quick question for you before we end the show.
Let's go, Kendall.
A Facebook user, and the only reason that we don't know who this is because if somebody watching the live stream from the Facebook group comments on the live stream, Facebook doesn't let us see who they are, which is fine. But shout out to whoever you are. We love you because you're in our Facebook group. What other baseball prospects interest you? This is like Kendall. I actually might just need to go to the bathroom and let Kendall talk for a couple hours on this, and then come back and click end broadcast. Go ahead, Kendall.
No, my number one that I'm interested in right now So T has brought him up to me. Aram has brought him up to me. I've seen him. He is massively undervalued right now. Is Yohendrick Panango, Chicago Cubs. I literally now don't go out and upbid me, you two, but I have 5 different auctions rolling right now.
How do you spell his last name?
No,
I know.
5 different autos auctions now.
I got it, Chase.
That are about to end to like in the next day or two, and my bid is winning at $5. This is like he's stupid good and he's stupid cheap. So wait a couple days, Mr. Facebook user or Mrs. Facebook user, and then buy some Panangos. There you go.
Yohendrick Panango. Do you talk about him in the? So we're gonna drop an episode of the Baseball Card Strategy Show later today or tomorrow on the channel.
He's in there.
You've mentioned him in that episode. Okay, nice.
Sure do.
Well
That's
done.
the subject
You and T are going around the diamond. Yeah. So Kendall brings on T, his guy at Wild Cards Box Breaks, and they go around the diamond. Basically, I love this concept of the show that we're dropping later today and or tomorrow. They go around the diamond and they basically sort of update their around the diamond from week 1 of the baseball season this year, which was back in, I think you dropped that episode back in April. So
I dropped
kudos
it.
to you
I
guys
dropped it
for
right
going back
the day before opening day. Or I sent it to you the day before opening day. I think we launched it on opening day.
Is Emmanuel Rodriguez on
it? No, but he's good. I'll give you that.
You know that's my boy.
I know that is your guy.
I almost have a rainbow of it.
Hey, Kendall got a Valera yellow auto out of a blaster a few weeks back. Dude, go you, first off. If you only bought one blaster, fantastic.
Yeah, and he was saying right on, can't wait to the baseball card show. So thanks, Eric Stefano, for that comment. And
George Valera is
we're gonna be
in the show, by the way. I think he's the right fielder in the show.
So basically what I do is I listen to the Baseball Card Strategy Show, and then I update the Sports Card Investment Report right after that because Kendall drops all these names, and I'm like, oh shit, gotta add him to the investment report.
Yeah, the hard part with me,
that's
Paul,
how I get my information.
is I can give you a new name every single minute of the day.
I know.
That's what baseball is like. I saw a tweet the other day, and this is a guy who was a football collector who was getting into baseball cards, and he goes, you know what I love about baseball cards? I can just search Bowman First Auto, buy whatever one is $2, and it's gonna go up.
For real.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
No, I mean, I'm a big fan, honestly, of like just doing one. I think what I might do actually is like, I've spent the last 2 years doing all sorts of stuff in terms of like buying and selling cards. I might liquidate all of that and then just focus on like one thing at a time and do. Kendall, you and I have talked about this a lot. Like that's one thing that you could just do what that dude told you. Like you could just do that and and then you could just pick one player and only do that one player and flip that one player over and over again. So there's all sorts of stuff. It just makes me think of how cool sports card investing is, how cool the hobby is. And I'm super happy to have guys like you to help host the show with me. And, thanks everybody for watching and listening to the live stream. We're going to come at you next week at a different time. We've been doing 10 a.m. Eastern time. I've been in Spain. I'm going to be in the United States of America next Monday. I'm so excited for that. So Kendall and I are going to do
switch spots?
2 p.m.
I'll
Eastern
sublease
time
your spot in Valencia. All right.
Yeah, we could do a home exchange. My wife's got us hooked up at a home exchange. So if anyone wants to home exchange with me, we've got basically like a 900 square foot apartment. It's a good location though, right in the middle of the old city here in Valencia. But that'd be funny. So you'd be doing it like if we stick to 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is what I was trying to tell the audience, 2 p.m. Eastern time live stream next Monday. If you came here, it would be 9 p.m. for you. So that would work out. That's no problem.
Sure.
See, I'm too old. I'm asleep at 9 p.m. So
what?
So that's why we do 4 p.m. No, I'm messing with you.